Algebra 2 students, welcome to class today on this wonderful Wednesday the 31st. I am going to whisper on this video. I've got a lot of stuff to tell you. We're going to go over 2 quizzes today. We're going to go over a lot of information, so I am going to whisper. My voice is pretty much shot, so crank up the volume, pump up the volume, and here we go, okay? There will be a test next Wednesday. Now that might change, we'll see, but as of now, a test next Wednesday, okay? What else do we got? Please turn your homework in from yesterday. Please stop and make sure your name is on it. Pause and make sure your name is on it and turn in your homework assignment. Incomplete. I don't think there are any incompletes from Algebra 2. No incompletes. Y'all are doing a really good job with that. And Caitlin, Braley, appreciate you getting all your stuff turned in quickly. That was a really good job. Now today we're going to go over quiz numbers 2 and 3. We're then going to take notes and we're going to work on homework. If you guys have gotten your quizzes out of your folders already, then you know some of you did not do well. Some of you flunked the quiz. We're going to go over it really well, both quizzes. And I mean really well. I'm not mad. I'm not like that. I am here to help you, so you'll have a chance to find your mistakes. Remember, I drop your lowest quiz grade every 9 weeks, okay? Did not mean to do that. And here we go. I'm not sure why it's doing that. Alright, here we go. The teaching video today is about word problems. Like I told you yesterday, we are spending 3 days going over word problems. This is the second day, so hang in there. Just one more day to go. The teaching video was called Algebra 2 Chapter 1 Word Problems Part 1. Look, it's only 10 minutes long. Very short video. Here's the homework. Notice it's due Friday. Now, let me look at my lesson plans here. Am I going to give you more homework on Thursday? I am, yes, but just wait until you see tomorrow. It's really, really reasonable, okay? Trust me, I know what I'm doing, okay? So, the homework today is only 25 minutes long, and you'll probably get most of it done in class, but it's not due until Friday, and we'll talk more about that tomorrow, okay? There's the help video, about 25 minutes long. Algebra 2 Chapter 1 Word Problems Part 1. Chapter 1 Word Problems Part 1. Okay, let's go over quizzes 2 and 3. So here's what you need to do. Please get quizzes 2 and 3 out on your desks, and let's get started. Now here's the wonderful thing about a video class. If you did not miss 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, you can fast forward the ones that you got right. But if you missed 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, please watch carefully what you did wrong. Are you listening? I'm here to help you, and I really mean that. Let me help you, okay? Alright, here we go. Here's the equation. 7x minus 29 equals negative 15. Alright? 7x minus 29 equals negative 15. Now, let's solve for x, okay? The first thing you do is do all multiplication, division like I've taught you to do. I don't see any. Next step, get rid of fractions and decimals. I don't see any. Next step, move your variable terms to one side and your constant terms to the other side. So I'm going to pick up my negative 29, bring it over here, and make it a positive 29. So on the left side, this is gone. I'm left with what? 7x. Here I have negative 15 and positive 29. If you're weak with your sign numbers, use your calculator. It's like you owe me $15 and you have 29, you pay off 15, and you're still left with 14, positive 14. Next step, simplify both sides. Well, there's nothing I can do to either side. Lastly, divide by the coefficient. 14 over 7 is 2. Now listen. Watch this, please. The basic thing you're trying to do to make it just cut and dry and very easy is you're trying to get all of your x terms on one side and all of your constant terms on the other side, and after you've done that, you're left with this. And then divide both sides by your coefficient. It's not that difficult. Let's try number 2. Step 1, do all multiplication, division, powers, and roots. I don't see anything. Step 2, eliminate fractions or decimals. I don't see any. Step 3, move all of your variable terms to one side and your constant terms to the other side. Now look, bring my negative 7x over and make it a what? A positive 7x. Got it? Now here's my constant term 15. It's already over here. Why would I move the 15? It's already on the right side. Look, I didn't move the 3x, did I? The 3x was already on the left side. I just brought the 7x over and made it positive. The 15's already on the right side over here. So I bring my positive 11 over and I make it negative 11. Now simplify. 3 plus 7 is 10. 15 minus 11 is 4. Look at that. Now divide by the coefficient. These cancel. X equals 2/5. Now if you put 4 tenths, I took off 1 point for not reducing. You've got to reduce your fractions. If you put 0.4, I have no problem with that. 2/5 is 0.4. I have no problem with that, okay? Okay, moving on to number 3. Okay, step 1, do all multiplication, division, all of that good stuff, okay? Well, here we go. First of all, let's get a little room here. Alright, there we go. Now, do all multiplication, division. I see some multiplication. I have a negative 4 being multiplied right here. So negative 4 times 3 is negative 12. Negative 4 times x is negative 4x. I see, bring down your positive 5. I see some more multiplication. 4 times x is 4x. 4 times 3 is 12. Okay, my multiplication is done. Next, get rid of fractions and decimals. I don't see any fractions or decimals. Next step, get all of your variable terms on one side and constant terms on the other. Now, I don't care which side you move to for me. I'm going to bring my axis to the left side, so on use my equal sign. On my left side, I already have an x term, so I'm not going to move it. But I'm going to bring this x term over and make it negative. Okay, so I'm done with this term, and I'm done with this term. Now on the right side over here, I already have a 12, so I'm going to leave that where it is. The sign doesn't change. I'm not moving it. See this 5? I'm going to bring it over and make it a negative 5. See this negative 12? Bring it over and make it a positive 12. It's not that difficult, guys. A negative 4 and a negative 4 is a negative 8x. Remember, we're not multiplying, we're combining. If you struggle with your positive and negative numbers, then use your calculator. Type in negative 4 plus negative 4 and you'll get negative 8. Now here I've got 12 plus 12 is 24. Minus 5 is 19. And there we go. Look at that. Divide both sides by a negative 8. These cancel. A positive divided by a negative is negative. 19 over 8 cannot be reduced. Or you could have put negative 2 and 3/8, same thing. Or you could put negative, hold on one second, I'm typing it in now. Negative 2.375. Any of those answers would be acceptable, okay? Go back and watch again if you need to. And then lastly, number 4. Okay, do all multiplication and division. I don't see any. Step 2, eliminate fractions and decimals. Well, you know what? I see some fractions I want to get rid of. Okay? I don't like fractions. I'm going to get rid of them. My denominators are 2, 3, 2, 4. What would be a common denominator for 2, 3, 2, 4? 12. Let's multiply everything by 12 over 1. 12 over 1 times 1 over 2. Your 2 would cancel into your 12 6 times. Your 2 would cancel into your 12 6 times. So you're left with 6x. 12 over 1 times 5 over 3. Your 3 would cancel into your 12 4 times. 4 times 5 is 20. So negative 20. 12 over 1 times 1 over 2. Your 2 would cancel into your 12 6 times. 6 times 1 is 6. Negative 6x. Negative because we have a negative here. And then your 4 would cancel in your 12 3 times. 3 times 19 would be 57. There we go. I got rid of my fractions. Next step, get all of your variable terms. Here's my left side. Here's my equal sign. Here's my right side over here. 6x, so leave that where it is. Don't move it. Don't change the sign. Bring this negative 6x over to the left side. Make it positive. On the right side, I have 57. Bring the 20 over, make it positive. So I'm left with 12x equals 77. 12x equals 77. Divide both sides by 12. You cannot reduce 77 over 12, so that's one answer. Or if you wanted to, you could put 6 and 5 12s. That's the same thing as 77 over 12. Or you could put 6.416 repeating, so 6.416 repeating. Any of those answers will work, okay? Alright. Guys, you must be able to solve linear equations. I'm not being grouchy or cranky, I'm just telling you. You have to be able to do that, okay? Alright, moving on to numbers 5 and 6. Alright, here we go. Now here's what I taught you to do. First of all, when you're solving multivariable equations, you must first of all recognize what variable you're solving for. Okay, I'm telling you in number 5 to solve for y. So step 1, do all multiplication, division, I don't see any. Step 2, eliminate fractions, I don't see any. Step 3, move all of your terms that contain a y, because you're solving for y, move all of those to one side, okay? So, we're going to move all of our terms that have a y to one side. Here's my left side, here's my right side. I'm going to move my y terms to the left side. How many y terms do I have? 1. So I'm going to leave it right over here on the left side. Now, could have I brought that over to the right side if I wanted to and made it a positive 5y? Yes, I could. And I would have left everything else over here, and that's fine. I'm doing it a little differently, which is, it's up to you. So I'm leaving my I'm leaving my y term right here. Now, does this term have a y? No. Does this term have a y? No. So bring them to the other side. 6x becomes negative 6x. 44 becomes positive 44. And now lastly, divide by negative 5. Just watch your signs. Watch carefully. Y equals negative over negative is positive. Positive over negative is negative. And we did it. Look at that. That is such a piece of cake. Not difficult, okay? Really not difficult. Okay, moving on to number 6. We're going to solve for C. Got it? We're going to solve for C. Step 1, do all multiplication, division. I don't see any, Mr. Aaron. I see 9/5, so that's a fraction. I don't really count that as division, okay? Do all multiplication and division. I don't see any. Step 2, eliminate fractions. Alright? I have one fraction with a 5. So I'm going to multiply the entire equation by 5 over 1. Now some of you did this, but you forgot to include the f. 5 over 1 is 5, so 5 times f is 5f. You got to multiply everything by 5. 5 over 1 times 9 over 5. Your 5 would cancel with your 5, leaving you with 1. 1 times 9 is 9. So we have 9c plus, and then 5 times 32 would be 160. So I took 5 and I multiplied it times each part of the equation. Okay? Next, what am I solving for? Do you remember? I'm solving for C. So I want to get all of my terms that have a C on one side. Here's my left side. Here's my right side. Well, I'll tell you what, I only see one. I'm solving for C. So I'm looking for terms that have a C. I only see one, so I'm going to leave it on the right side over here. This does not have a C term, so I got to bring it over here to this side. My 5f is already over here. I'm not going to move it. Bring the 160 over, make it negative. And look at that. Now simply divide everything by 9. Well, 5 over 9 is 5, 9. You can't reduce that. 160 over 9 is 160 over 9. You can't reduce that. lines cancel, leaving you a C. And look at that, we're finished. Okay, guys. So that was quiz number 2. You've got to be able to do problems like that for your test coming up, okay? Listen, if you're still struggling with this material after I go over these quizzes, you might want to email me and I'll try to get you some more extra practice problems, okay? Alright, now, I don't think one person got this right. I'm pretty sure, so let me show you what you did wrong. Now, let me really talk to you about this, okay? I'm trying to teach you to be sharp, math students. I think everyone wrote this as a conjunction, and that is not right. Well, Mr. Earhart, you're being picky. Well, guys, not really. I mean, either something's right or it's wrong, okay? And this answer should have been written as a disjunction. Let me show you why. I want you to write inequality that models this situation, okay? So, sometimes if you draw a number line, it'll help you see it better, okay? Here's 0, here's 5, here's 11. Now watch this. X is less than 5. And it's greater than or equal to 11. What is that? Is that a conjunction or a disjunction? You guys know, I taught you that the other day. When the graph comes together like this, that's a conjunction. When they go in opposite directions, that's a disjunction. So you put the word or, and you write x is less than 5, or x is greater than or equal to 11. I really didn't think you guys would miss that. It was not supposed to be a trick question. I was just trying to make sure you knew how to write this, okay? So that is the correct answer. Now if the graph would have come together like this, let's pretend it would have come together for a second, okay? Let's pretend the graph would have come together like this, and you had a conjunction. How would you write a conjunction? Just like this. You put the x right in the middle. You put this number over here. You put this number over here, and you always point the arrows to the left. And then this one does not have a line underneath it. It does not have an equals. But this one does. And there you go. That's how you would write the answer if it looked like this. Okay? Alright, moving on to numbers, whatever. Numbers 2 and 3. Now guys, we really should nail these, okay? So please find your mistakes. Step 1, do all multiplication and division. I say some multiplication right here. Let's take care of the multiplication real quick. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times negative x is negative 4x. Step 2, eliminate fractions or decimals. I don't see any. Step 3, get your variable terms to one side and your constant terms together. Here's my left side, here's my right side, here's my inequality. I've got my negative 5x here. I'm going to leave my x's there. Bring your negative 4x over and make it a positive 4x. Okay? That's taken care of, and that's taken care of. Now we've already got a 12 over here. Bring your 5 over, make it a negative 5. Negative 5, negative 5, positive 4, that's negative 1x. 12 minus 5, or 12 negative 5 would be 7. Alright? Now, please watch this next step. We're dividing by a what? A negative number. Do you see that? Okay, negative 1. When you divide by a negative number, you must always turn this arrow. Anytime it comes down to the last step and you divide by a negative number, you must turn the arrow. If you're dividing by a positive number like this, then you would not turn the arrow. Okay? So, here we go. Turn the arrow. And 7, a positive divided by a negative is negative. 7 divided by 1 is 7. There's your answer. X is less than negative 7. Now, graph that real quick. Here's 0. Here's negative 7. You have an open point, and you go to the left. X is less than negative 7. Alright? Okay, number 3. Number 3. This is a conjunction. I know that because I have 2 inequality symbols. Thus I know it's a what? Compound inequality. What two kinds of compound inequalities have we studied? Conjunctions and what else? Disjunctions. Correct. This is a conjunction. Disjunctions are written with the word or. Okay? So we should know how to solve these. Now some of you moved the 11, but you didn't move it both directions. Okay? Look. Your goal is to get x all by itself in the middle. So I've got two numbers to get rid of, a 2 and a negative 11. So I'm going to bring the negative 11 out here and make it positive. But I also have to move it out here and make it positive here too. So I must move it both directions. Alright. Positive 11 minus 8 is 3. On the inside here I'm left with 2x. Negative 6 plus 11 is 5. So I got rid of the negative, or the positive, the negative 11. Now I've got to get rid of this 2. So simply divide everything by 2. And that cancels. So I'm left with this right here. Now that is a great answer. If you want to put 1.5 and 2.5, I have no problem with that. If you want to put 1.5 and 2.5, I have no problem with that. All of these are great answers. And now for the graph. I've got 0, 1, 2, 3. Here's 1.5 right here. Here's 2.5 right here. This is an open point. This is a closed point. X is greater than 1.5, so I go this direction. X is less than 2.5, so I go this direction. There we go. That's the graph. Alright, let's take a look at number, I think number 4. Alright, students, let's take a look at number 4. Number 4 and 5. Alright, now, number 4 is a disjunction. I've got the word or. So these are pretty simple. I solve this one, then I solve this one, and then I bring down the word or. It's almost like having two separate problems. Solve this one first, okay? Let's forget all of this for a second, if we could, please. Where do I have my refill thing at? Here it is, right here. There we go. Okay, now, so let's just simply look at this side of the problem here. Do all multiplication and division, I don't see any. Get rid of fractions or decimals, I don't see any. So here's my left side. Here's my right side. Alright. So my 5x is already over here, right? So simply bring your negative 4 over, make it a positive 4. So your negative 5 is already on the right side. Bring your 4 over, make it positive. So now I have negative 5x is less than negative 1. Negative 5, positive 4, negative 1. Now divide both sides by a negative 5. Now hold it. Look what I divided by. I divided by a negative number, so I've got to turn my arrow. So my arrow was pointing to the left. Now it's going to point to the right. These cancel. Negative over a negative is positive, and 1 over 5 is 1/5. So there, I'm halfway done. Okay, I solved half the problem. Now, let's work on this half right here. Okay, do all multiplication, division, I don't see any. Step 2, eliminate fractions or decimals, I don't see any. So next I'm going to get my x terms on one side and my constant terms on the other. My x term's already over here, so we'll leave that here. Bring your 1 over and make it a negative 1, so we're left with 10. Now divide both sides by a negative 2. These cancel, you're left with x. Don't forget to turn your arrow. We divided by a negative number, so turn your arrow. A positive divided by a negative is negative. 10 over 2 is 5. So there we go. Now simply put the word or, and you're finished. That's your answer. Okay? All that you have to do is graph it. Okay? So let's graph it here quickly. Here's 0. Here's negative 5 over here. Negative 5, 1/5. We'll put a 1 here. Then we'll put a little tick mark about right here and put 1/5. Okay? X is greater than 1/5. That's an open point. X is less than or equal to negative 5. That's a closed point. And there we go. Look at that. Okay? Guys, I hope you're getting this. I really do. You have to know how to do these for your test that's coming up. You have to, guys, or you're not going to do well. Okay, now this is an absolute value inequality. And because I'm really worried about you guys not getting this, I'm going to work this out two different ways, okay? First of all, there's the problem. But I also want to pretend for a second, what if I had given you a different problem? What if I gave you a problem like that? Okay, it's different. So I'm going to work, these are two different problems. I'm going to work them both out. First of all, let's start with the problem that was on your quiz, this problem. First thing you do is you isolate the absolute value, and we've done that. The absolute value is all by itself. After you've isolated the absolute value, look at the inequality symbol. If it's greater than pointing to the right, we know we're going to have a disjunction. So put the word or. Let me say that again. After you've isolated the absolute value, if you have a greater than symbol, after you've isolated the absolute value, if you have a greater than symbol, you're going to have a disjunction, so put the word or. And then you write the inequality just like it is. 8x minus 28 greater than or equal to 32. Now, next, you write the inequality just like it is. Only you turn the arrow and you change the sign of this number over here. And now let's get to work. Bring down your or. And now we have two problems to solve, okay? No multiplication or division, no fractions, so simply bring the negative 28 over and make it a positive 28. And you're left with 8x is greater than or equal to 60. Now divide, because 32 plus 28 is 60. Divide both sides by 8. And we get x is greater than or equal to 30 over 4, 15 over 2, 7.5. Or, now let's work this side out. Bring the negative 28 over and make it a positive 28. 8x is less than negative 4. Now some of you see this negative 4 right here, so you think you got to turn the arrow. The top number doesn't matter, it's the bottom number what you're dividing by. If you're dividing by a positive number, then you don't turn the arrow. So we are dividing by a positive number, so we do not turn the arrow. X is less than or equal to a negative over a positive is negative, and 4 over 8 is 0.5. So there's your answer. Now the graph of that would look like this. We got 7.5 over here. And we've got negative 0.5 over here. Both points will be closed. X is greater than 7.5. X is less than negative 0.5. And there we go. Now, what if the original problem, please listen to me guys, what if the original problem was written like this with a less than sign? Please watch what to do. First of all, isolate the absolute value. It's already isolated, so we're good, but always do that first before you look at this symbol right here. Always. So we look at this. It's less than. That means we're going to have a conjunction. So you write the 8x minus 28 just like it is. Bring everything down. And then you put the arrow here also, and you put negative 32. And now you solve that just like it's a conjunction. You bring this negative 28 out, you put it right here, and you put it right here. This would give you negative 4. This would give you 60. Now divide everything by 8, and you would get negative 0.5. X 7.5, and there's your answer. If you were to graph this, you would have 0 7.5 over here. And it says x is greater than negative 0.5, so we're going this way. X is less than 7.5, so we're going this way. And these points would be closed. You really have got to know how to do this stuff, guys. Look, I was disappointed in the grades. I really felt like y'all could have maybe learned the material a little better. But I know it's a lot to learn. And that's why I'm really trying to quiz you guys every 2 homework assignments to make the quizzes a little more or less material, okay? But anyways, I hope that helps. Contact me if you have other questions, okay? Now, I think that should be it.